Give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick lesson through the Spirit. I came across Genesis 24 and let's see, and I'll start at 58. It says, "And they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go." And it's talking about Isaac and Rebekah, right? It's dealing with when Isaac and Rebekah got married, right? And the marriage, we always tell you that sex is marriage, and this is why I wanted to bring out this chapter, because that's what it shows you, that sex is marriage, okay? Let's see something. The sex is marriage. I'm going to go ahead and the word married, it means joined together, literally, okay? Go into the etymology of that word married. Join in marriage. When you're looking at marry, the word marry, it actually maritus in the Latin. Alright? From the Middle English marriage, from Old French mariage, from mariere to marry, from Latin marito, marry, verbal, literally give in marriage, from maritus, lover or nuptial, from mas, equivalent to marry or marriage. So anyway, it's dealing with sex, that word, marry, join together, and also, like it said here, which is lover, maritus, which means lover, right? Sexual. All right, so let me just read the scripts though, because this is talking about Rebekah. She basically confirming that she wanted to leave with Isaac. Right? Verse 58. Let's see. "And they called Rebekah and said, Wilt thou go with this man?" Talking about Isaac. And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, Thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions. And let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and rode upon their camels, and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Verse 62. "And Isaac came from the way of the well, Lahai-roi, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field, and at eventide he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming." So he saw his wife coming to him, right? The one who was going to be his wife. And this eventide is at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, he looks up, he sees the camels, he sees you see Rebecca, who was going to become his wife. All right. So let's keep reading. I'll read 63 again. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at eventide, the end of the night. He's sitting there just meditating, praying. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel, meaning she got off, right? She took the load off. She got off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself, right? Because that was our tradition. You weren't picking your wife by her being dressed all slutty, dressed all provocative. No, it shows order right here. Rebecca, she actually covered herself and put a veil on herself when she realized she was coming up on Isaac, who would be her husband, right? Let's see. Verse 66, and the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. So what does that mean? That Isaac brought his mother, his Sarah into his mother's tent, and into Sarah. He brought Rebekah into Sarah's tent, Sarah was his mother, right? And took Rebekah. What does that mean? That means he had sex with her, right? And what's the very next word say? And she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Right? So, this is proof right here that sex is marriage, okay? Isaac had sex. He said he took Rebekah, and she became his wife. He didn't say that they went to the justice of the peace, or they went to the courthouse to get a document, a marriage license, a marriage certificate. No, he took her. He had sex with her, right? She became his wife, right? And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. That woman, Rebekah, comforted Isaac because his mother had just passed away, Sarah, okay? But she became his wife right after he had sex with her, all right? So you women out there, you think that you're not married to your you say, oh, well, we got to go do it we got to go to the courthouse. We got to go get we got to get a certificate. That's not what it is. In the Holy Scriptures, Yahweh looks at it. If a man is fucking you, he's having sex with you, you are his wife, right? The word married means joined together, okay? So you're physically joined together through the sexual act of intercourse, all right? We'll read it again for you. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. It didn't say, oh, and they had a big ass ceremony, and everybody came over for the wedding, and he bought her a ring, and he got down on his knees and proposed to her. No, he took her. He had sex with her, and she became his wife. All right. So, you women who think that you don't think that you're married to your husband by having sex. You think he needs to get you a ring and a certificate and a marriage license, all this other stuff. You're going in the ways of the heathen. You're going in the ways of Esau, Edom. That's what he taught you, right? A lot of you women, you get with a man and you fuck him, and then you might leave him to go fuck some other dude, and you're committing adultery. But you don't look at it that way, because you're believing it in the ways of Esau's fashion, or you're believing it in the way of the customs of the heathen, right? But we're reading this Holy Bible. It shows you that when a man has sex with a woman, that actually becomes his. It's a marriage, all right? That is your wife. That is your husband. See? Doesn't talk about no ceremony. Doesn't talk about no wedding. Doesn't talk about going to get certificates. No, the act of sex is marriage. Okay, so when you're fucking, you women out there, you're fucking you're fucking someone. And guess what? You're married to that man. If you leave him, you're going to be, according to the scripture, you're going to be a whore, right? So the other thing is I wanted to bring out a few other precepts, right? Real quick. Ecclesiasticus. Once you women are married, you're supposed to listen to your husband. You know, you're supposed to. He's your leader. He's your Lord with the scriptures. You become his possession. All right. Let me get that real quick. Yeah, we'll grab that first. Is Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. It says, the bottom of this, bottom of the camera, bottom right underneath me, verse 24. It says, Ecclesiasticus 36:24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. Right? So your wife is supposed to be your rest. All right? When you come home from whatever you're doing, you're supposed to be able to rest with your wife. She's supposed to be that rest. We don't really get a lot of rest here in Babylon, but if you have a good wife, that's what she's going to be. She's going to be rest. All right? So let's grab another one. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 14 says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Showing you that women need instruction, women need direction. All right? If you're a man, it's your responsibility to lead your woman. You have to lead her. All right? And if she doesn't listen to you when you try to lead her, when you try to show her, your way, you don't have to keep that woman around. If she doesn't want to listen to you, she wants to do her own thing, she tries to be the man or whatever, you don't want to be in that type of thing, If she's trying to control you, you're the man. No, you're supposed to, she's your possession. It didn't say that the man is, the woman inherits a possession. No, it says a man has a beginning of a possession in his rest. Okay? And then we read in 14 right here on the top, it says, there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Women need direction. Women need to be told what to do. Women need instruction, okay? And if you're telling them what to do and they're not listening to you, well then let's get it on Ecclesiastes 25 and verse 26. This is the very, well, you know what, I'll start at 23. All right. Actually, I'm going to start at 19. Okay, I'm going to start at 17, all right? It says, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth, all right? So when a woman's being wicked, her countenance, her face is going to change. She's going to come home like an angry lion or a dragon, right? This is how you know you have a wicked woman. If her face is darkened and her countenance, she's coming home. Because, here in Babylon, our women have to work, So they're not really built for that. So they come home stressed out. They think the world is... these women they can't handle being a good wife and working, because it's really not in their nature. They're just supposed to be home working. At home serving and taking care of the husband and the kids, you see? Verse 18, her husband shall sit among his neighbors when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. So when a man has a woman who's stressing him out, he's going to be, whenever he's around his neighbors, he's just like sighing bitterly, because he knows he's stressed out. Because why? Because the woman, she's stressing him out. Verse 19, all the wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All right? So it shows you all the wickedness in this whole world. This is a wicked ass world. There are so many wicked ass things, but it's all little when it's compared to the wickedness of a woman. So that shows you how wicked these women could be, man. That shows you that these women, man, when a woman leaves her husband who she's married to, right, by having this acts of sex, right, that's her husband. She's supposed to remain with her husband. That's a wicked thing. How wicked? The most wicked thing possible, the Bible says. A woman, if she strays away from the house or removes herself from her husband, this is like the most wicked thing. We just read it. Let me read it again. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, meaning she's going to be cursed. She's going to be put to death. She's going to receive judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, women who do this, you can't get this, right? You get with a brother, and you all of a sudden you leave him, and because you expected a wedding, you expected a wedding ring, you expected to have that certificate, that marriage license, you expected all this stuff that Esau Edom has set up, but you can't just get the understanding that, hey, that you're already married to that man, all right? And you might get mad because he doesn't set you up like the heathen, right? He doesn't have you 500 guests, huge wedding, people coming, seeing you, because these people put a lot of money into these weddings, man, and then these weddings don't even last. So this is a curse anyway. We're cursed people, Our relationships are cursed out here. If you're lucky enough to get a woman who's humble and quiet, and the truth ain't gonna push her to the edge, you see, then more power to you. You're in a situation that's very rare, if you can find a woman like that. All right. That's verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. So if a woman, she's always got some shit to say, she's yelling at her husband. This compared to an old man trying to walk up a hill. He's not going to get nowhere. He's not going to get far. If you're a husband and your wife is always talking shit, she wants to control everything in the relationship, she's full of words, she always has some shit to say, knows what that means, then that's what it's comparing to, that old man trying to go up a sandy hill. I mean, there's not going to be no progress. The woman should be instructed. You should be able to tell her the way it is, tell her how it's going to be, Our women here in America, Babylon, they don't want to hear this. See, because they're not in their right mindset. They get mad if you want. You women get mad if you want. We're reading the Holy Scriptures. Because in the kingdom, our women are going to be like this. We're not going to have to deal with a woman who's, out of order. Our women are going to be back in order, right? Let me see. Grab this one a lot because it shows you our women how they should be. Deuteronomy 28:56, not full of words, fighting with your husband. The brother went to camp and you're mad at him because he went to camp. This is out of order, right? The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground. Deuteronomy 28:56. which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for the delicateness and the tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So our women used to be tender and delicate, like tenderonis, like Bobby Brown used to sing about, right? But now we're under the curses. Now her eye is evil toward her husband, right? Meaning bad times. I mean, she's going to show her husband bad times, right? She's going to remove herself from the house. She's going to go, she got social media. She's got the gym. She's got whatever it is. She's got all this liberty, all this freedom. And, it gives her a false sense of security and confidence. And therefore, these women, they have a polluted mindset. A lot of you women don't respect your husband. A lot of you women, you don't want to hear, you don't want to be instructed. You don't want to follow the instruction of your husband. You see? And you're going to have a portion of a sinner fall upon you. You're going to be put to death. You women are going to be put to death. You wicked ass women, man. Ecclesiastes 25. And what was it, 26? I just already read that. Okay, I'm going to read it. Verse 25 and 26. If she, this is talking about that, well, no, you know what? Salakia. I'll read 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Right? So you brothers out there, you may have a big titty, big ass, fine ass woman you like, you love, you want to be with. You've been having sex with her, she's your wife, But you're not supposed to stumble at her beauty, man. Just because she's fine, she's got big titties, big fat ass, or perfect titties, whatever it is you like, you see. Hey, you're not supposed to stumble at the beauty of a woman. Don't desire her for her pleasure. Desire her, you should want her because she serves you well, because she's your rest. Because when you come home, she's like, she adds to your life. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be able to rest when you get home. You're not gonna be going back and forth. She's not gonna be all up full of words in your ear, like we read. You see? I remember this Moabite. He may have been a Jake through the spirit. Remember, he told me. He said, my dad told me. This was the Asian guy talking. He said, my dad told me, find someone who likes you more than you like them. See? Well, that's a test. That's hard for a lot of men to do, to get with a woman that they like you more than you like them. Most of our brothers, will go after a woman that you like them more than they like you. And that's why that shit don't work out. That was good advice, I thought, when that Moabite, which, like I said, he could have been a Jake, because he was a pretty cool cat, man. I wouldn't doubt if that dude was a Jake, but he had said that to me one day. He said, my father told me, find a woman that is way more into you than you are into her, And it just makes perfect sense, really, Brothers have been in those situations, but because a lot of brothers, we want that badass bitch, we want that fine woman, she might not be the woman for you, We've all been on both sides of the that situation. But let's keep reading. If a woman, verse 22, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. All right? So right here, this is saying you don't ever want to be in a situation where that woman you're with is taking care of you. You got, by nature, yes, she should serve you when she can serve you, make you happy, make you, give you the pleasure that we need, but you don't want to be in a situation where she's taking care of you and shit. Financially, you know what I mean? Or you're living at her apartment, you're living at her house. You don't want to be in that. That's shameful, it says. And a woman is not set up to care for a man the way a man can provide for a woman, you see? As a woman providing, all she's thinking about is, this motherfucker don't help. This motherfucker is lazy. She's talking shit about you to her friends at work. So you don't want to be in that situation. Women are not set up to take care of a man or to provide for a man. Right? She should serve you, but you should be the provider. You see? Verse 23, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. So that's a wicked ass woman. If she gives you a wounded heart, meaning if she breaks your heart, or if she's not comforting you, if you need to be comforted, hey, we're men, but yeah, there's times when, hey, we want our woman to come up, lay up on us, or whatever, comfort. See, a woman can be comfortable, but if she's not doing that, then she's a wicked woman. Especially if you've been popping this woman, and now she's got an attitude, or she doesn't want to be with you anymore, or whatever the case is. You see, that makes her wicked, and you shouldn't be. You as a man, we shouldn't be. We shouldn't deal with a woman who don't want to listen to us, right? We'll read that here at the end of this chapter. It says, verse 24, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. See? So the women, hey, Eve, that's where the beginning of sin started, with Eve, right? So that's the nature of women. They're sinful. That's why they have to be, that's really why they're really not supposed to be out in these workplaces, man, because they're vulnerable. They're the weaker vessel, the Bible calls them. The Bible says the woman is a weaker vessel. Right? She's the one who can be deceived, tricked, right? Not the man. It was Eve that was beguiled by the serpent, tricked by the serpent. Adam wasn't tricked. He just did it because he followed the woman he loved. He was so into Eve that she did her wickedness, and he went along and did, he fell right into that trap. See? Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. To gad abroad means she's a busybody. It means she's everywhere, If you have a woman and she's never at the house, she's doing who knows what, everything, right? She's working. She goes to the gym, If they have any extracurricular activities, that's a recipe for a disaster. Because why? Because these women are they're vulnerable. They're the weaker vessel, right? They need to be instructed. They need to be, really they should be with their husband. Because when they're not, their thoughts, their stress, then you got all these, you got counsel of the wicked in their ear, right? Their family, their friends, that's the counsel of the wicked, right? All up in their ear. These women ain't gonna last if they have too much liberty. That's what this is, liberty to gad abroad, meaning she's a busybody, right? Verse 26, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go, right? That means if she doesn't listen to you, cut her off from your flesh, because why? When you have sex, that's flesh joining unto flesh. Right? That's what a marriage is. Your women, you want the whole 9 yards. You want the ring. You want the fucking, the huge wedding. You want all the, these women, they want to go by the pattern of the heathen. They don't want to just say, oh yeah, I understand that we are married, and I'm gonna serve you, and I'm gonna, be a good wife to you. Instead, they expect more. They're expecting the ways of the heathen. They want to be like they are heathen. They're in that mindset. You have our women, they'll be presented the truth, and they'll be taught that, hey, sex is marriage, and they really don't believe that. Right? Let me read it again. If she, verse 26, the last verse, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go, right? So if she don't want to listen to you, hey, just let her go, man. Claim that bitch for the kingdom and move on. You'll see her in the kingdom, right? In the kingdom, she's going to be tender and delicate. She's going to have the right mindset. She's not going to be full of words in your ear. She's not going to be, you know what I mean? She's going to know better. She's not going to have the desire or the temptation to commit adultery. Like these women out here, they get that desire and that to commit adultery because of all the social media. They got thousands of men fucking liking their pictures, hitting them up on their DMs and shit, you know? Then she gets mad at you, and all it takes is motherfuckers in her DMs, man, and then they're in the mindset of the heathen, so they'll dip out, man. They'll dip out. So what we get to summarize this quick lesson, hey, sex is marriage, and really, you know, you got these wicked women out here. You know, you got to instruct them. If they don't want to follow instruction, it's not a sin to divorce her. It's not a sin to let her go. Just let her go. She's gonna go out and commit adultery, but if she didn't listen to you, that ain't your fault, you know. But she's accountable. These women right now, they're not held accountable in Babylon. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will hold them accountable with the spirit and power. You know, we're you know, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we know that these women are going to get judged. We know that they're going to be cursed, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close out on that. With that, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. And I also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect.